Country roads take me home to the place. Well, hello. Gonna have a chat about the realities of small accounts and big accounts. Do a little bit of maths. And a very warm welcome to one and all. And for those of you who have not seen me before, my name is Langers and I am the overgrown child that is the Scruffy Trader. What I'm trying to do is kind of inspire you with your own trading and maybe show you a trick or two along the way. So if that sounds good, please click the little subscribe button. It genuinely helps. And if you are a subscriber, just please make certain the bell icon's switched on. So what are we having a chat about over coffee today? Well, it's small accounts, to be honest, and the expectation of what a small account can give. See, I was reading some of the comments in the Discord group that I run, and one of them was about £1,000 account and how the expectation was for it to generate a living wage. And I thought, it's a great goal, and it genuinely is a good goal. But also, when you have a small account, you can get disheartened when you see other traders posting big figures. And the part that gets lost in translation is the small account, for all a percentage point of view, might be exactly the same as the larger account. The monetary value will always be different. And then you kind of get a little bit upset and you maybe push the account harder than it needs to go, and inevitably you blow it up.
Isn't that logical?
Because trading a small account is so much harder than trading a large account. It really is.
No way!
And it goes back to the age-old thing. It takes money to make money. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up on to my screens. I'm going to show you a small account that I'm building, but also show you the differences in the maths. And what I mean by that is how a large account can open up a bigger position with relative ease. So it can take damage, it can take a loss, which looks scary on the surface, but in percentage terms is not. And your expectation of those figures. And also a little analogy of how my account was built, because I built it exactly the same way that I built my business. Now, many moons ago, I had a very large scale business, but it didn't start off large. In fact, it was minuscule. And I'll show you where it started and how it ended. But the factor between it was time. It took a long time to get from its small, humble beginnings to its dizzy heights. And there was a lot of tears and laughter along the way. And your small trading accounts are exactly the same. So let me show you some figures first. Then I'll show you where the factory came from, because it's kind of the same flight path as a trading account. So come with me. Okay guys, so here we are in my Echo base where I spend most of my time. I live my life on spreadsheets, obviously the charts, and a Discord group, which is where kind of today's inspiration came from. Now, before I jump onto the screens, I guess you have to sort of think about the way the industry is sold. Because all over the internet, whether it's Facebook, sort of the land of make-believe, or what you lot call Instagram, you see this.
You ding-dong!
Oh, make it stop!
Yeah. And it's really the wrong thing to see. Because trading is not overnight. It never is. And it's not the road to riches what many people think. It is a good industry, and if you want to just make a few pounds over the course of a month, then it's a wonderful way to do it, because you can make more in a month than a bank would give you in a year. However, if you think you're going to turn a tiny amount into a livable wage, the chances are no. Your expectation is way too high. And then you'll beat yourself up when you make a loss. And you made the loss because you've probably pushed the boat out that little bit too far. So let me jump onto this screen and I'll show you what a little account can build. And then I'll pull up a broker and I'll show you kind of the differences of the margin requirements. And it kind of starts shooting in the foot the land of make-believe. Because I'll go back to what I said earlier. It takes money to make money. So let me get my coffee and we'll fire up this screen. Okay guys, so here we are on my spreadsheet that I keep for my small account. As you can see, it started with £200 and it's currently at £440. Now this started on the 10th of February. Right, so it's slow and steady growth. You know, I'm not looking to light the world on fire with it, but if I can achieve a small amount every day, which is set at 1.5%, it'll grow gradually. And as it grows, the bid size increases. As the bid size increases, the profits increase, and it works. You know, and that's what it's for. So you can kind of see here, it started on the 10th, worked its way through, did very well. And this is the current state of play. And I will show you the live account for this in just a second, because I want to show you what the margin requirements are for certain positions. Now with this one, the way it works is very simple. I'm looking to edge the bid size up by 10% every time I've achieved 10 pip goal. So if I've done a trade that's done 10 pips, I can move my bid size up a little bit. But the small account is quite restrictive, because it means I can't open many trades at once. I have to slow the process down and look for the absolute A1 trades, because when you're trading a small account, one mistake can damage you badly. Whereas if you're trading a large account, it doesn't matter, because you've still got capital to pull that money back. With a small account, you don't. And this is some of the pitfalls that newer traders fall into, because they genuinely believe they can get a living wage out of £1,000. Now, if you've got £1,000 and the living wage per month is £1,000, that means you have to double it every month. But not only are you doubling it every month, you're taking your £1,000 out to live. So you're starting at square one every time, which is why it's best to have multiple streams of income when you're trading. And that can be anything. You could have a little side business going, or job, part-time job, whatever. Have income streams decided. I trade a large pot, but I still have other income streams that help support me. We have the confectionery shop, things like that. Anyway, as we are looking at this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop it onto a clean sheet for next month to just give you an idea of some of the maths involved. So if you are looking at risk, now there's various ways of looking at risk. I'm quite comfortable with 4 to 5% per day. Now I know that'll immediately go, oh, he's at 5%. What a lunatic. Because everybody says 2. Well, I don't trade like everybody else, and I don't give a monkey's what anybody else says. If I'm looking for 1 to 2 trades a day at a 5% on my account, I think that's reasonable, because I'm not one of these idiots that does 2% scalps and is looking to take 20, 30 trades in a day. road to ruin. You know, you're never going to succeed like that. So my risk profile is actually a lot lower than most traders. And the guys in the Scruffy squad who see sort of scruffy madness, and with luck they'll comment below where I've traded it straight in front of them, where a loss situation, or what is deemed a loss situation, ends up being quite profitable. And my risk tolerance is very low. And they've seen it firsthand. Anyway, so let me quickly look at this and I'll show you. So we'll just assume it's 440 balance. 5% risk allows me £22 per trade. Now I break trades, so I split them up. All right, but the maximum risk across the position will be £22. If I'm at 50p, that means it can go on that 50 pence position 44 pips, right? Which to me is actually quite tight. But what I'm looking at is this: how much am I going to dent that balance if I get it wrong? Well, it's £22. And if I'm at peace with that, then I can move to the next stage, which is looking at my bid size and one thing and another, because I know at worst it's 22 quid. And that's on this small account. And all I'm looking to achieve is £6.60. Now, in the grand scheme of things, you look at it and go, £6.60, bugger up. But the percentages are right. And every day it adds up. And it means I only have to find a trade that is 9 pips. So if I can score 9 pips, I've achieved my day's goal. All right. So what having a small account does is it teaches you patience, but it teaches you money management as well. And these are a skill set you need for when you get to a bigger account. Because if you haven't got those in place, when you get up to say £50,000, it's going to cost you a lot of money. So let's have a little quick look. I'll just drop 50,000 in there so that it pushes the balance up. Okay. So we're now looking at 5440. Same risk tolerance, 5%, same account. Now, you could be trading at £25 a pip. All right. So if you put 25 in there, look at the difference in the stop. That's 101. It can go against you. The risk profile is exactly the same, but because the account is larger and you're using an infinitely larger position size, and I'll show you how much these position sizes cost to open, you can allow the trade to breathe that much more. Because this is something I'm pulled up on about wide stops. You have a maximum wide stop, but you can also make profits on the way into it, and you don't have to use 101. All it's showing you is that it's giving you more opportunity. If you are going for 1.5, you need 30 pips to get there. And this is why sometimes the figures kind of turn round. As you have a bigger account, that would come right down to 0.5% return, which gives you 250 quid, which is only 10 pips. Now you can find 10 pips throughout the day, and if you've got enough room to breathe, which you do, you can easily find it, and you can make mistakes and this account will take it. I hope that kind of makes sense. And it's all about your tolerances. All right. As your account grows, your target percentage comes down, just so that you're not going crazy. But let me have a look at how much these things actually cost to open up. So this is a broker I use regular. It's the FTSE. It has a minimum balance, or a minimum bid size rather, of 50 pence. To open that position, you need £169. So your small account can trade it very, very easily. But could you trade £25 a point on a small balance? Of course you can. £25 a point in, same principle. The account needs £8,500 within it. You can see it here. So a £50,000 account can easily open up £25. In fact, a £15,000 account could easily open £25 a point. But then your risk tolerance comes into play, all of that sort of thing. And the moral of the story is really, you've got to walk before you run. Now this account is the small account that we've been looking at. If I flick this through, you should be able to see that is there. There's the balance, okay? And it is a live account amongst my other accounts, okay? It's just one that I'm currently using. So I hope that kind of makes sense as to how much your position size costs and the impact, etc. And what I'll show you is, if you bear with me, I'll show you a picture of where my original business started. It started here, in the back of the garage. Well, it actually started in a small bedroom, but I converted the back of the garage when it started to get moving. And everybody laughed at me. Said I was stupid, selling toys, selling plastic injection kits. I'll never make any money. But I stuck with it. And I made mistakes. You know, I bought stock that was crap, and I had to mark it down and sell it off, which is no different than taking a bad trade and just cutting your losses and letting it hit your stop loss. But I got better at it. I got better at picking product, and it turned from that into this. Now that factory cost a fortune, genuinely did, but it didn't happen overnight. It took many, many years. I had that business 15 years, and it started small, and it grew, and it grew. And in the beginning, like I say, everybody laughed at me, including family. The only person who had faith in me was my mother and my wife. And well, even Winky laughed at me at times because I did cock it up a few times. But I stuck with it because I saw something in it. Then when it got bigger, the laughter started turning down a little bit. And when it increased again, it certainly started calming down a little bit. And then when it got big, they weren't laughing anymore, they were holding a hand out. And it's funny how things like that change perception. So never be put off from having a small account. You know, people laugh at you because you trade, saying you're gambling, etc., but you have belief. Just brush it off. You know, if you believe it, you can do it. But you must start small. Build it up and be happy and treat yourself. Go buy yourself something once you've made some profit. Put the profit back into it. Build it up again. Give yourself a treat. And through time, you know, and I'm talking maybe 3 years. If you grow a little bit every single day, it will pay off. And that's it. And it was really a video to encourage the guys on the Discord, the Scruffy Squad, because sometimes they get a bit discouraged, and they shouldn't. It's a big learning curve for all of them, even myself. And one of the reasons I've gone back to the start to do the small account is just to trade alongside them, so that I build an account up with them, and I'm going to go through the entire journey, you know, because the highs and lows of a small account far outweigh the highs and lows of trading a large account. Because like I said, a large account can take the damage, and you've always got something you can fall back on tomorrow. Keep your money managed, keep your bid size in check, but keep your dreams realistic. If your dream is financial freedom or Lamborghini, if that's what you so wish,
You ding dong!
Give it to me again.
You ding dong!
don't know why, have one of these. That is fab. Sorry. But there's nothing wrong with it. But just plan it out. And if you can work out your time horizon, be it a year or 2 years, it'll come for you. It genuinely will. So I'm going to enjoy my coffee. Bit of a ramble on a Saturday afternoon. It's just, like I say, I was reading the comments and kind of inspired me a bit. So I'd like to hear what your thoughts and comments are, because everybody's journey is different. So have a chat with us down in the bottom. If you want to speak to myself directly, all my contact details are in the description, etc. So best of luck, and as always, do what you love. See you all in the next one.